Hello and welcome. This is Amara Media Corporation English Service, and this is our weekly edition, Episodes a Week, First Grand Stories. Stay tuned. The American politico-economic analyst Lawrence Freeman said that the Great Ethiopian Renaissance Dam GERD is the greatest accomplishment in sub-Saharan Africa, and everybody should congratulate the people of Ethiopia for taking this bold challenge and building the dam that benefits the continent. Burhan Workneh has more.
The analyst who visited the project on Monday told INA that
Ethiopia is already supplying power to Djibouti, to Kenya, and to South Sudan. As the dam is completed with 13 turbines, it will supply more power to the Horn of Africa. There is no reason for anybody to complain about this dam. This dam is one of the greatest accomplishments in sub-Saharan Africa, and everybody should congratulate the Ethiopian people for taking this bold challenge of building the largest dam in Africa and the 7th most powerful dam in the world.
Upon completion, the massive complex infrastructure is expected to generate almost 5,200 megawatts of electricity that will contribute to regional economic development, which will also provide stability to the region. According to Freeman, it is in the U.S. interest to support Ethiopia in its efforts to build the Renaissance Dam, the largest hydroelectric dam on the African continent. The dam will be the biggest infusion of electrical power in sub-Saharan Africa that will make Ethiopia the second largest producer of power behind South Africa. Freeman stressed Ethiopia should therefore be congratulated by the United States and by the Western world for this phenomenal accomplishment.
And I think that the United States government and the Western governments should be praising Ethiopia and should be finding ways to help Ethiopia develop its economy, given the aspirations of the Ethiopian government to provide electricity. This is the first step. Much work has to be done. Reconstruction of the North, which I was in earlier, more development, more expansion, increase in agriculture. All of these things can be done, and the West should assist in that.
Freeman added he witnessed a speedy construction of the Grand Renaissance Dam.
Well, I've been following the Ethiopian dam for 10 years, so I've studied the statistics. I've always tried to get here, so getting here today was a very special moment in my adult lifetime. There's very few moments, if any, that equal today.
He also hoped that the completion of the dam in the near future would change the Horn of Africa for the better. When asked about the repeated grievances coming from the downstream countries, mainly Egypt, the American analyst said, "There is no rationality to complain. There is no reason for anybody to complain about this dam. It is the greatest accomplishment in sub-Saharan Africa." Freeman noted Ethiopia has reaffirmed many times that the construction of GERD will not significantly affect the flow of the Abai River into the downstream countries. As a result, Ethiopia has also considered the downstream countries in the process of building the dam by making 2 wide bottom outlets in which water flows throughout the year. The American analyst believes that the Grand Renaissance Dam should be considered as a victory for this generation of Ethiopia like the forefathers.
As I studied the Battle of Adwa, where the Ethiopians under Menelik II defeated the Italian army on March 1st, 1896. That was the first time that an African nation defeated a so-called modern army. And Ethiopia, as a result of that, was never colonized. And the Ethiopian mindset is a strong identity for the nation and a bold vision for the future. This dam represents the same identity and mindset that we saw in Adwa. And when the dam is completed in 2025, I think we have to add to the Ethiopian calendar the GERD Day next to the Adwa Day.
Recall that Ethiopia has completed the third filling of the reservoir of its flagship project, the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, and the second turbine with a 375 megawatt has started generating electricity. The country, which is a source of 85% of the Nile, is filling the Gerd reservoir through a gradual process and only during its rainy season to allow the river to continue flowing to downstream countries.
Tigrayan scholars and youths have urged TPLF to show commitment to the effective implementation of the peace agreement by supporting the efforts being exerted by the federal government of Ethiopia. Brhan Workna.
Tigrayan scholars and youths have concluded a 3-day consultative meeting yesterday. During their consultation, they discussed the implementation of the peace agreement, the reconstruction efforts in Tigray region and their role in ensuring the country's development endeavors. Defense Minister Abraham Belay said at the conclusion of the meeting, the participants have reached consensus on the encouraging achievements being registered in the political, social and economic spheres due to the national reform. They have also agreed to transform the nation and fundamental changes in Tigray region. The minister urged Tigrayan scholars, the youth and the entire people of the region to strengthen their efforts with a view to bringing change and ensuring development in the region. Accordingly, utmost efforts will be exerted to strengthen the reform to the benefits of the people by ending subjugation.
the successful, and hopefully we will achieve great achievements.
Participant of the launching ceremony and Assistant Cultural Affairs Officer of U.S. Embassy in Addis Ababa, Stuart Davis said, economic empowerment of women is the focus and the mission of U.S. Embassy in Ethiopia.
Young women and female entrepreneurs. Economic empowerment is a major focus of the U.S. Embassy and the mission here in Ethiopia, and a very long-standing and important point of cooperation and collaboration between our partners here. As you mentioned, we're here at Bahir Dar University, and among that university and other partners here, for example, Deborah Marcos and others, we look to collaborate and to develop a program for women entrepreneurs in the coming year.
Representing Njibara University, Dr. Gardacho Worko on his part said the university is working to alleviate unemployment by drafting a strategic plan to achieve university's strategic objectives.
Njibara University has already identified entrepreneurship and entrepreneurship development as one of its priorities for the coming 5 years. And already we have developed a strategic plan to play the role that Njibara University can play in alleviating the problem of youth unemployment. So this project is an additional effort to Njibara University to realize its strategic objectives.
Representative and Director of Entrepreneur Development and Incubation Center at Bahir Dar University, Zaudu Laka said, institutions, either private or government, working in the nation are not addressing the issue of entrepreneurship development. He further said the increasing population and unemployment are great challenges.
The universities or different training centers, including technical college and the private business consultants and other training centers, are not well addressing the issue of entrepreneurship in providing entrepreneur competencies and treats and entrepreneur behavior for youth is a challenge. On the other hand, the increasing population and the increasing unemployment rate, especially for youth, and it's greater for female youth in Ethiopia, particularly for this region, is very high.
Stuart Davis further stated the project has focused on young women to help them develop entrepreneurship skills and their capacity.
This LIFE organization or program is just for specifically young women. We're focusing on 100 young women, graduates from these universities, to help them develop entrepreneurial skills and all sorts of market capacity to bring their ideas, their creativity, their ambition, etc., and help it change their lives, address the unemployment issue here, and transform their whole communities.
Bahir Dar University, in collaboration with Transport and Logistics Ministry and IGAD, held a 3-day workshop on validating the National Blue Economy Strategy of Ethiopia in Bahir Dar. Let's take a look at the full account of the story.
The economic mainstay of the IGAD region is agriculture and aquatic resources.
Harnessing the potential of oceans, seas, lakes, rivers and other water bodies is the ultimate objective of IGAD's regional blue economy project. Endowed with immense aquatic potential, Ethiopia is targeted as one of the region's blue economy destination. Concerned stakeholders held a 3-day workshop in Bahir Dar city on the validation of the National Blue Economy Strategy of Ethiopia. Chief Administrator of the Amara region, Dr. Yilqal Kafale, Minister of Transport and Logistics, Dagmawit Moges, Minister of Tourism, Ambassador Nasisi Chali, Representative of IGAD Secretary General, Dahir Elmi, and other dignitaries took part in the workshop and addressed keynote speech. Representing IGAD Secretary General, Dahir Elmi made a remark that Ethiopia has a huge aquatic potential to apply the new blue economy approach. He added that IGAD will sustain its multifaceted support for member states like Ethiopia to enhance their blue economy strategies.
So I want to stress really that the blue economy is one of the priorities of IGAD, and it is reflected well in the new IGAD Regional Corporate Strategy 2021-2025. I would like to assure you that IGAD is committed to provide all the necessary support for sustainable utilization of the blue economy potentials for the socio-economic development of the region.
In an exclusive interview with Amara Media Corporation, IGAD Secretariat staff in Djibouti, Dr. Wase Antena said a very successful discussion was held on the validation of Ethiopia's blue economy strategy in the presence of all concerned bodies.
All high protocols are there, all decision makers are there, development partners are there, all stakeholders are there. So it's huge success, I can say. And I'm sure that Ethiopia will be also in the forefront in implementing the strategy and getting the blue economy benefits.
Dr. Wase elaborated what the new blue economy approach focuses on. He said that blue economy is about harnessing the water potential for socio-economic development without harming the natural ecosystem.
Blue economy, since it's a new concept, as IGAD, we are trying to promote blue economy. When we say blue economy in general, it's an economic development as well as social development, in general human development, without compromising the environment. And the environment, when we say it, is aquatic environment in general, maybe freshwater bodies like Lake Tana here, maybe big rivers we have, maybe the big oceans, the seas and so on, even the underground water. So we have huge resources in these water bodies, and blue economy tries to utilize these huge resources sustainably without damaging the environment.
Minister of Transport and Logistics Dagmawit Mogus appreciated IGAD and other stakeholders who have been efforting for the development of Ethiopia's national blue economy strategy.
I would like to express my deepest appreciation to IGAD and experts from all line ministries who have been working day and night to the development of this important national strategy to define the concept of blue economy beyond oceans, seas, and coastal areas to include inland water bodies such as rivers, lakes, and wetlands, bringing our land-linked country on board to harness the benefit of these resources.
The National Blue Economy Strategy of Ethiopia is planned to be implemented within the time frame from 2023 to 2027.
Well, viewers, this is Amara Media Corporation English Service, and you have been watching our grand stories of the week. The view continues. I'm Modumlie. Have a nice time.